purpose of the day is to gather everyone together who's interested and passionate about growing the game for women and girls. Today we're going to hear from two panels. We've invited some special guests. We're going to hear from people from organisations who are leading change for women and girls, and we're going to use their stories, their insights, their challenges to guide our conversation today and help us think of some tangible actions that we can take away from the day.
Our goal for the next 5 or so years is to increase participation. And to do that, we need more people falling in love with the game. Because if people don't fall in love, they're not going to play. And by changing that narrative completely changes the dynamic.
I was fortunate that I had a leadership role in England netball, but very, very few other women did. And I think now that one of the differences is that we are prepared to stand up and say what we want. And it's great that everyone here today is in that same frame. We've got to be proud of what we're doing. We know that, what's that phrase, to see her is to be her. And if you don't have those role models, particularly female coaches and referees, it's very, very difficult.
But I'm absolutely thrilled, and I got goosebumps when I walked in here today. Women's golf, women's sport, women's football, women's representation in infrastructure is not a women's issue. It's a society issue. It's an industry issue. The leaders of this sector here today are predominantly men. You are the most important people here who can move the dial. Your role is to make way for women. Your role is to champion women and sport because you are the power brokers in this game and you are the leaders.
I mean, my ambition in life is for my 2 girls to beat me at golf, and the way I'm going and the age they get, they'll meet soon, you know. When she arrives at a golf club, what I want her to feel like is that, wow, this is a cool place to be. There's people that look like me, that talk like me, that dress like me, and I can do whatever I want here and feel comfortable. And I'm not sure we're quite there yet.
Yeah. Women's networks. Women need to feel supported. They cannot feel the only one in the room. Do not appoint one woman board member. You cannot get a tipping point unless you have at least 30%. You need to have role models. So your women PGA, your Lydia Coes, people who you think, if I can see it, I can be it.
It's been great today. I mean, get all these cool people working in golf together in a room to talk about something so important. It's been fantastic. I think the golden nugget for me is that people seem really ready for change and really ready to drive this. So learning I've got and listening to everyone talk is that, you know, everyone's aware of the right thing we need to do with women and girls in golf, and everyone's ready to take action, and it just seems to be a positivity about it. People are really ready to take a stand and really help us grow the number of women and girls in golf.
The challenges are the same regardless of whether you're in infrastructure or football or in this case golf. It's a societal challenge, so it's women in leadership, it's inclusion, it's access, it's the same. So I think the parallels, I think people today were probably surprised why I was here, but when we're discussing the same things, I think they can see the direct applicability to the same lessons from different sectors, and let's learn from that. Let's copy and paste and tweak with pride. Let's not reinvent the wheel. We don't need to.
Cool to see a lot of men here, and I guess being on the panel, that was one question I had. Why am I on the panel? You know, being a male, but what Sarah said about, you know, it's really important to have men being the champions for women in this space, and so that's probably been quite a nice feeling pre-chat.
But I've actually started treating my role at Golf HQ as a role model for women coming into the sport, and actually allowing myself to be myself and not just be what golf expects me to be.
Breaking down that barrier around perception that you can't come in, can't come in the front gate, it's just golf, it's just elitist, or it's an older male sport. So breaking those and using the social element.
The most important thing and the most encouraging thing was the diversity of the people in the room. We had so many women, but we also had so many men, and the engagement and the chat was so meaningful, and I feel like the actions that were spoken about, the barriers that were spoken about, but also those solutions to those barriers, it was just such fantastic conversation. I think everyone took something away from it.
The conversation around our table has been, are men doing enough? Are men doing enough to break down the barrier with other men in whether it be golf clubs, whether it be golf organisations, whether it be just in the 4 guys that you play with on the weekend. You know, break the conversation down, change the conversation.
And it's just awesome to see that there's so many people that are willing to get behind girls and women in our game and make things better and bigger and more expensive for us.
I think it's been a great experience being able to listen to the different perspectives from people, not just in the golf industry, but those that have come in from outside, and the challenges that ladies face all across the board. But being able to hear the solutions and things like that that kind of be put forward means it's exciting.
So my golden nugget that I'm going to take away from today is special times need special actions or considerations. And I think what that means is for people who feel threatened by change, know that the measures that we're going to implement now to action change are temporary, they're not permanent, but they're a means to instigate change. So I quite like that as a nugget to take away. And what's more, I'm going to be playing more golf.
It's not today that's going to make the change, it's the action that people take away with them that's going to make the most change for women and girls in our game.